Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is super informal and very off the cuff. I'm actually holding my iPhone, but I just filmed today or posted today my grocery haul. And Shannon, who is a frequent watcher of my videos, hey girl, asked me a really good question, and I meant to make a video about this. And not that I put it off, but I just kept forgetting. She asked why we are raising our son vegan. And so I thought I would just sit down really quickly and explain to you why we're raising our son vegan. My son is 13 months old, and it's a question that I get from literally everyone, family, friends. Whenever they hear that we are feeding our son primarily vegan, people have questions like, why are you forcing this on your child? Don't you want your child to make their own choices? Is it the healthiest option for your baby, etc.? So in a nutshell, there is my husband and I's reasoning behind raising our son vegan. And obviously, like, there are going to be holes in our reasoning. I feel like, especially nowadays, people can find holes in anything that you share, but just know that, like, parenting is so hard, and it's a learning process. It's an ever constant changing learning process. So will all of this be true in a year, 2 years, 3 years? I have no idea. And my husband and I, Jeff, we really roll with the punches. Like, that's our parenting philosophy, roll with the punches. So why are we raising our son vegan? My husband and I are vegan. We've been vegan for 8 years. It's a food lifestyle that really works for us, and is something that we really believe in from both an ethical standpoint and just the physical realities that we've experienced. We both feel healthier, we feel better, and our doctors, the doctors that we've spoken to, everything is always coming back really positively, all our levels and stuff. And so in that regard, we've had a really positive experience with a plant-based vegan diet. Now, I 1000% agree that everybody's body is different. No one diet is going to fit every single person. And so what works for my husband and I may not work for Hugo down the road, or may not work for someone else. My cat Elsie may not work for someone else. And I know of so many people who have tried a vegan diet and it hasn't worked for them. And so my whole attitude going into a plant-based diet was always, you know, I'm going to see how I feel. And even just this past summer, there was a time where I thought, you know, like, maybe I need to reintroduce eggs into my diet and see how I feel. And in regards to that, I didn't really feel much of a difference. But I really think taking the time to understand your own body and taking the time to understand how you feel is so important. Now, for the people who say, like, you're putting this on your son, why are you putting this on your son? Because your son can't make those decisions right now. And that's so true, right? Like, Hugo's 13 months old. He can't say to us, this is what I want to eat, this is what I don't want to eat. And what I liken it to a little bit is actually religion, weirdly enough. So I think it's very much so like religion and how we raise our children, in that a lot of people decide, okay, my son or daughter is going to go and be a part of the Catholic Church, or be Episcopalian, Lutheran, Baptist, and that's the framework that we'll give to our son or daughter now. And if they want to make a different decision when they get older, they want to join a different faith or follow a different church, like, that's fine. And that's how I was raised. My parents were, you know, put me into a certain school, and then I was able to then make my own decision when I was older, and when I sort of had all the information and felt like I could make a decision that was right for me. And that's how I sort of feel like food is as well. And obviously there's a little bit of a different level in that we need to make sure that Hugo's getting all the right nutrients and vitamins, and he is, but it's a framework. It's the plant-based diet and the vegan diet that we have in our house is a framework that then he can journey from and grow from. And my attitude has always been like, of course he can have cupcakes if he's at a birthday party. Of course he can have pizza. Of course he can try a hamburger, whatever. And maybe that, I feel like in this video, people can come at me from different directions, right? Like, vegans are going to be mad that I say that, and also like the non-vegans are going to be mad that he has a plant-based diet, you know? Of course he can try things, and what we want is we want to give him all the information so that he can make the most educated decision for himself and make the decision that's going to serve him the best so that he feels the best and is as healthy as he could be, if that makes sense. And obviously, like, no matter what he decides down the road, like, we will love him the same as long as he is happy and healthy. My husband just got home. Yeah, like, me and my husband keep a vegan house, and we will cook plant-based meals while we're here, but that doesn't mean that Hugo can't try other foods when he ventures out into the world. As long as he's making choices that he feels are right for him in that given time. And of course, like, life is all about experience and experimenting and trying new things. But that's sort of the framework of what we want to give our son as a base for his food choices. We spoke to his doctor, obviously, about the milk, because Hugo actually, so I breastfed him, and I'll link my breastfeeding story down below. I breastfed him for the first little while, for the first like 6 months exclusively, and then started giving him formula as a supplement. And then around, I think it was 8 months, he was exclusively getting formula. He was exclusively getting formula. And so that formula was cow-based formula, cow milk formula. And then when the doctor told us at 12 months that he had to transition to a milk, I spoke to the doctor about like what options were good and if a non-dairy based milk was appropriate. And she was like, absolutely, as long as it is fortified with vitamin D and calcium. And most milks nowadays are, but it's like anything, you have to read the label. You have to make sure that there isn't a bunch of added ingredients or a bunch of added sugar. And that goes for any sort of milk or any sort of product, really. Nowadays, you have to just make sure that you see what's going into it. And so we found a really great unsweetened pea protein milk. And, you know, there's a lot of people ask like, oh, like, do vegan children get enough protein? And it's like anything else. You just have to do your research. You have to make sure that you are giving your child the foods that have the proteins in them. And there are actually a lot of foods out there that have more protein than animal-based products. Again, it's just doing your research before making any sort of decisions. That is it in a nutshell. Again, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you in my next one.